RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thank you for joining me here on YouTube. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Happy Monday, everybody. Every Monday, we hang out with you right here on YouTube, hanging out and talking about the most important thing in the whole wide world, which, of course, is going on a Royal Caribbean cruise. And we're going to start with the most important question I can possibly ask, which is how many days till your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Tap your countdown in chat. Let us count down together. My next cruise is coming up end of next month. So I have a temporary lull at home for a couple of weeks, which isn't honestly a terrible thing. But I'm going to check my countdown right now. I have 41 days till my next Royal Caribbean cruise. So just under 6 weeks away till I get to go back on board. And we'll be doing Serenade of the Seas to Alaska. Can't wait for that. 2 super chats started us off even before our broadcast. That's amazing. Barbara Tiedman. Barbara, thank you for your epic super chat. That deserves a woo! And KS, thank you for the super chat. Kay says, hi, Matt. I live in Orlando and always drove, but this time using Uber. Have you ever had a tough time getting a driver that will travel from Cape Canaveral to Orlando, as I have work upon return? No, I've not had any problems with that at all. I think it's pretty standard issue or pretty expected at this point. And when they accept that ride, it just assigns it to them. I've never had any issues at all, Kay. So I don't think you'll have any problem, quite frankly. In fact, you'll be doing them a favor if they're already in Cape Canaveral to get over to Orlando. There's far more business over there. So, for what it's worth, it is what it is right there. Jonathan Harmon. Jonathan, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Welcome. Let's answer as many Royal Caribbean questions as I can today. Starting off with Smug Pelican. How was your day? Fantastic. Because we're talking Royal Caribbean, hanging out with friends, and getting one day closer to our next cruise. Love that. All right, time for some questions here. Zach Smith in the house. Hi, Zach. Thank you for the super chat. Has Sushi Main Class returned as an offering 6 days till Oasis of the Seas? Great question. I know that one of the changes that went forward, this is probably now like a month or two ago now. Like a month ago now, not 2. But at any rate, I do know that they are allowed to do those kind of classes again. I'm not sure if Royal Caribbean has brought them back, but they are allowed to do those kind of classes, which is great. Joe has a question for us. New Diamond members, congratulations. Can you use the comp Diamond drinks on embarkation day? Yes. As soon as you get on board the ship, your first day's Diamond drinks will already be preloaded in there. Josh Carruthers with the epic super chat. Woo! Thank you, Josh. 90 more days till the amazing Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise on Mariner of the Seas, July 17th. Josh, I can neither confirm nor deny that there may be a contender for the July group cruise logo for our t-shirts and whatnot. More on that a little later. Thank you, Josh, as always. Very much looking forward to sailing together on that. And of course, from one friend to another, Josh, I say go Yankees. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome. Jim Barker wants to know, when will COVID testing go bye-bye? I don't think it's going away anytime soon. I don't know more than you do, Jim. No one in our chat knows, because ultimately there's some powers that be, but testing and COVID vaccine requirements for cruising is really at the cornerstone of what's allowed the cruise industry to be so successful in their restart. And when I say successful, I'm not talking about necessarily people on board the ship, but keeping COVID off the ship, even during the Delta and Omicron variants. So that's really been, I just don't see that going away, quite frankly. It's been their best tool that they've had. I've used this metaphor. I'm not sure it's a very accurate metaphor, but it makes sense to me. It's like your favorite baseball team finally gets into first place. You don't trade away your best players. You keep what's working. And it's not ideal. It's not like I'm not like, yay, I can't wait to do my COVID test. I understand the frustration with it, but at the same time, it is what's been working for them, and it's hard to argue with the results on that. Next question is from Fanfic Rocks. What is your opinion of Australia having its first cruise ship in Sydney over this past weekend? And it was a P&O ship. Fantastic. Long overdue. It's great to see Australia back open again. Here in the United States, we thought we had it bad when we had to wait until last summer for cruises to restart. But Australia's had it even worse. It's about darn time. It's taken too long. It shouldn't have taken this long, but I'm glad to see it back. It's better late than never, as they say. is probably the best thing I can say about that. Let me get a drink of water here and then answer Prudence's question. Have I done the proctored COVID test at home through Royal Caribbean? Yes. And if so, do you schedule in advance? No. You just do whenever you'd like to do. It's available 24 hours, 7 days a week. And it is extremely easy, Prudence. We have a video here in our channel that details how to do it. It is super duper easy. Jim Mendoza, can I purchase pictures after my cruise? You cannot, my friend. You got to get them while on board. After that, they disappear into the ether. Unfortunately, there's no way to get them after that. G-Man wants to know, is there entertainment on the ships? There is indeed. Yeah, you're going to find a lot of different things to do on board. Rena, hello. It's good to see you. Have you ever tried the day pass, the Baja Mar in Bahamas, going on Freedom May 30th? I've stayed at the Baja Mar, like as I booked a hotel room, but I've never actually done a day pass over there. It's a beautiful resort. I would definitely recommend going there if you have a chance to go because it's really, really nice, but I'm not trying doing the day pass. Hello, Brogan. Mike Wolf, thank you for the super chat. Wolf in the house. And got a question. Are the ships sailing at or near capacity? Thank you, Mike, for the super chat. Not yet. There are increased capacity. You know, I've talked about this on some of the videos we've done over the last couple of weeks. Some ships have been at 100% capacity, but that's not been the norm. Those are still the exceptions. You know, depending on the ship and the sailing, the amount of passengers on board varies. They're kind of somewhere in the ballpark of 70 to 100%, but no, the ships are not all at 100%. You know, when I was on Oasis of the Seas a week or two ago, it was a 3-night cruise. We were at 92% capacity, but the next sailing, that capacity number went down actually. So it really depends. And don't forget, we're now, Mike, we're with Easter behind us. Happy Easter to everybody, by the way. You know, we're past spring. Spring break is officially over now. And we're in actually what is essentially a lull in demand. After spring break, from Easter till about Memorial Day, it's kind of a slower time of cruising. I'm not saying it's dead. Don't get me wrong on this, but there's less people who want to go on a cruise because, well, school's back in session. Nobody has vacation from school this time of year. And a lot of people are looking for Memorial Day and beyond for summer vacation. That's when really you see peak prime time. But this next 5-6 weeks or so may end, or even longer, quite frankly, may end up being kind of a slower time that we'll see. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But they're getting there, Mike. And don't forget that last earnings call back in the beginning part of the year, Royal Caribbean's plan was to get back to full capacity by this summer. They didn't say when, but they're definitely moving in that direction. Melvin, how are you? Welcome. Ben wants to know, does my wife go on all my cruises with me? Most, but not all. There's been, when I was on Wonder of the Seas for 2 cruises in a row, I was on the first sailing. She was on the second sailing, and that's how it worked out. So she doesn't come on every single sailing, but yeah. Carlos wants to know, can you please explain Coastal Kitchen? Is this available to junior suite guests? Book my first ever junior suite. Yes, so Coastal Kitchen is a complimentary restaurant for suite guests. Carlos, as a junior suite guest, dinner only is included for you. So basically, Carlos, you need to go make a reservation when you're on board the ship. Go to Coastal Kitchen, make a reservation, and you can book dinners there. It's kind of like the main dining room. The menu changes every night, and but it's just for suite guests in there, so it's included. Debbie wants to know, Next Cruise or travel agent? They are not mutually exclusive. You can use a travel agent and book at Next Cruise. But what I'm telling you, Debbie, if you're at home right now and you want to book a cruise, you're thinking of booking a cruise, book it now. Contact a good travel agent, have them book it for you. But if you're on board a ship and you want to book another cruise, that's great. Go to the Next Cruise office, make a reservation, for there, but let the Next Cruise person know you have a travel agent. They'll attribute it back to your travel agent. So you can do both. Leave Me on the Ship. Great name. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. I don't see a message from you, but I do appreciate your generosity. I'll keep an eye out for that. But yeah. We've got some other questions coming in, starting with Grumpy and V with the super chat. Thank you, Grumpy and V. Appreciate you. Options for COVID testing on a back-to-back. We didn't get pre-test for the second potential cruise. We're 9 days out. Yeah, don't worry about that. If you're doing a back-to-back, meaning 2 cruises in a row, you don't have to worry about arranging a second test. You still need to do a test, but Royal Caribbean will do it for you, Grumpy and V. So when you're on board cruise number 1, you'll get a letter with instructions on what to do and where to go to get your COVID test done for cruise number 2. So Royal Caribbean will take care of that for you. Danny DiMatteo. Danny, thank you, Danny, for the super chat. Hello, Matt and everyone. On Harmony of the Seas, off to see the ice show. Gotta go. So thank you, Matt. Danny, enjoy, my friend. Good to see you guys there. We got some questions in here, like Becca's asking this, and there's been others who've asked this, and I'm sure we'll get this throughout the broadcast. That's okay. I'm sure many of you are aware that there was a decision by a Florida judge today that overruled the federal ban or federal requirement for masks. I don't know yet what to expect, Becca. It's still kind of in this new phase. I'm sure even by the time this replay comes out, we'll know more about it. So I don't know yet what the implications will be. I remember when the CDC in Florida had their remember when Florida sued the CDC. This is back when the cruise industry was shut down, and they declared the conditional sale order optional. Remember all that? Well, there was a little bit of time from the judge's decision to an actual change in policy. I do know, and you can save your messages, that I've seen some people already send me messages like, hey, so, this airline or this airport's already pulled back the requirement. I can't speak to that. I don't know. I think we'll know more about this, I think, in the next couple of days on that one. So we'll have to wait and see. Of course, as you all know, you didn't since late February, you did not have to wear your mask if you're vaccinated on board the ship. You just had to wear your mask in the cruise terminal. That's really what we're talking about. What this change potentially could impact. So just keep that in mind going forward. But I don't know yet what to expect. And as you guys know, I try not to delve into speculation. I don't want to give anybody false hope. I don't want to mislead anybody. So I'm trying to stay about as above board as and objective as I can be on this one. I think this will probably end up going away, but I don't know that for a fact. And certainly I think we just have to wait and see. So, hopefully another day or two, we'll have a good answer on that, if maybe a little bit longer. But, even when it was there, and in my opinion, it really wasn't a big deal to wear your mask for the, 10 minutes you're in the terminal floor. As soon as I got on board the ship, mask was off and it was great. Lem 426, thank you for the super chat. Going on a tour cruise in May. Any idea on COVID test landing in Vancouver? Yeah, the protocols are already out there, Lem. You need to get a COVID test for your cruise. Check Royal Caribbean's website for the exact protocols. But I have a cruise leaving out of Vancouver as well next month. And you got to get your pre-COVID test to do that. But all the protocols are available on Royal Caribbean's website for that. Trey, is a antigen test that is required prior to arrival in Canada necessary if you're planning on staying on board the ship? You don't need a test in Canada. Oh, do you mean like your cruise like stops in Victoria? I'm not sure we know the answer to that one yet. Again, Trey, in the interest of just again not misleading you, because I'm not 100% sure, I direct you to Royal Caribbean's website for that. Andrew wants to know, are the buffets open? They are indeed. We've got a question here from Gal. Thank you very much for your generosity. Tadarabah. Going to Rhapsody in August. I've only been on a Oasis class. Any advice? My best advice when going from a ship like Oasis to Rhapsody is expectations. Manage your expectations. Understand what Rhapsody has and doesn't have. You may already know some of these things, but the key is to understand that it is a very different ship. It is smaller. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad ship. It means it's different. So you've got to understand what the differences are and be okay with that. Since you booked it, you still have time to cancel because you're before a final payment date, but just understand the differences and embrace them. It's a smaller ship, not as many onboard activities, but it's still a fun ship to go on. And after all, you're going, I think in August on Rhapsody, you're going to Greece, right? You're doing a Mediterranean cruise. Explore these amazing places to go to. I think that's the most important thing right there. Vanessa Cooper, thank you for the super chat. According to the app, check-in for my cruise opens May 11th. What time of day can we check in? In other words, can we check in at the circa midnight, or does it open sometime in the morning? That's a good question, Vanessa. It actually opens it does open at midnight, 12:01 a.m. I don't think you need to wake up that early. You can totally, in my opinion, I've never gotten up that early for a check-in. You can wait until you wake up in the morning the next day. It's totally fine. But yes, it does open at midnight. So, yep, easy peasy. Lawrence wants to know, is the Windjammer open for dinner on Harmony leaving in 20 days? It is indeed. Yes. Nathan wants to know, will Royal Caribbean accept a vaccination card that's laminated? Yes, they will. If you haven't already, I would not recommend getting it getting it laminated. But if you already have it laminated, no problem at all. AD, we've never done a specialty restaurant on embarkation day. What do you suggest for lunch? Chops Grill or Giovanni's? I would do Giovanni's, but I've given up red meat, quite frankly, to mostly. So I would lean towards Giovanni's on that one. But let's see here. Next question is from Kevin, who wants to know, is a junior suite worth the extra cost over a standard ocean view balcony? Great question. And of course, Kevin, as you all know, my favorite answer It depends. It can be. The nice thing about doing a junior suite is you get a larger room, you get a larger balcony, you get a full-size bathtub, upgraded toiletry amenities, a walk-in closet, and best of all, double crown and anchor points. Sounds great. Well, it depends how much more it's going to cost you to go from an ocean view balcony to a junior suite. In some situations, it can, but it really depends on how much more you're talking about. The rule of thumb I've generally given out, and this is, if you want to agree with it or not, is a different question, is about $100 a day difference and under would be worthwhile. Beyond that, I'm not so sure. So basically, 7-night cruise, no more than $700 difference between a junior suite and a ocean balcony. So there are people who pay a lot more than that and say, Matt, I just like having all that extra living space. It really is a lot more living space, but it's not a suite. I think that's the most important thing to understand. Yes, it's called a junior suite, but it's not actually a suite. It's really, think of it more like extra large balcony room. But again, it kind of depends on your budget and what you're looking for out of the room. Oh, here's Leave Me on the Ship's message from earlier from the super chat. If you win a royal upbid, what's the latest you can cancel pre-purchased items, drinks, dining, etc. that be included with your upgraded suite? 4 to 8 hours before Leave Me on the Ship. In fact, you can actually see it right now what that date is. If you go to the Cruise Planner website and you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see the cutoff point. It's like 2 days before your cruise at like midnight. You can cancel it. Kenny K, thank you for the super chat. My channel replacement after July 1st will still be closed. I would recommend, I've been there once. I liked it a lot. Blue Reef at Jamie's Hotel was great. Just Google it. It's same basic idea. Not as good, but still a very nice experience. I went there in February. Had a great time, Kenny. Blue Reef is where you want to go. Kim Oakland, thank you for the super chat. Are there any roller coasters that have a non-smoking section in the casino? Yes, most do. Kim, one side is non-smoking, one side is smoking. Whether or not, but it's the same room. So, there's just less smoke basically on one side. Diamond Dave Grossi, thank you for the super chat. Dave says 11 days till my repositioning on Jewel to Amsterdam. I will need a COVID test to fly home. Will we're going to do it as a comp for Diamond Plus members, or can I pay for them for a test? I don't think you can. I know that Dave, prior to this summer, like if you were from Canada or somewhere else, you needed a test to get home, that was on you. I'd imagine that'll still be the case. So I would make plans, Dave, to get it on your own. But, if it ends up something being there, even better. But Archie wants to know, what's my favorite thing to do in Alaska? Ooh, going to Mendenhall Glacier Park. Really like that quite a bit. Fantastic. Love that. All right, I'm really behind in the super chats, guys. So I got to catch up with the super chats. I know there's a lot of questions. I'm going to get to as many as I can. Fanfic Rocks, thank you for the super chat. It's been over 2-year ban in Australia. The Ruby Princess really spooked the governments over here after that farce. And I understand why they'd be a little worried, but they have to, come on. Everyone has to understand what happened in January 2020 is not like what it is now. We didn't have, in January 2020 with Ruby Princess, we didn't have vaccines. We thought we still had to wash our groceries. It was just night and day difference. Unfortunately, there's a lot of ignorance about the cruise industry. But listen, I'm glad the cruise ships are back in Australia. Better late than never. By the way, Michelle says that she did the day pass at the Baha Mar, and it was very nice. Love that. Deborah wants to know, does the ultimate dining include lunch? It does indeed. Yes. Terry going on Wonder of the Seas in March 2023. Will she still have that new ship smell? Do you smell what the Wonder is cooking? Maybe. I think I don't know about new ship smell, but all Royal Caribbean cruise ships have a Royal Caribbean smell. You guys know what I'm talking about? There is a Royal Caribbean cruise ship smell. I don't know how to explain it, but if you've been on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship, you know what I'm talking about. And Leave Me on the Ship. I think I got your question before this. I'm not sure where I am on the super chats here. Oh, there he is. Thank you for the super chat. And here's Leave Me on the Ship's question. Can you bid on suites for Royal Up, but that cruise shows all suites are sold out? Yes. In that, basically what they're doing is they're allowing you to place a bid for Royal Up in case somebody cancels at the last minute. Carrie B, thank you for the super chat. Singing the post-cruise blues after Wonder last week. Womp womp. Do crew members get in trouble or rewarded if I mark yes? I was asked about the survey while on board. They get in trouble. They're allowed to tell you, Carrie, that they're allowed to say, hey, Carrie, you should do the survey. It's important. But if they tell you, please give me 5-star reviews or I get fired, or if we don't get perfect scores, we get fired or in trouble or something like that, then you should tell them, because they're not supposed to do that. But reminding you or telling you that the survey is important is totally fine, in my opinion. And it's a very fine line over there. Next question is from Mayer. Would you rather bigger ships or smaller ships? I would rather the bigger ones. Yeah, I like big ships, and I cannot lie. I'm definitely on that side of the fence on that one. I know there's some people who are gonna not be happy with that answer, but next question is from Ralph. Super chat from Ralph. I don't see a message from you, but I'll keep an eye out from Ralph. Thank you, Ralph, for the super chat. Let's see here. Becky, I think you're in Becky. I know Becky Menken. Hello, Becky. It's good to see you. Becky's one of our moderators here. And Becky, I think your services are going to be needed with a certain somebody who's very angry about boycotting, depending on the amount of messages we get from them. Jonathan Harmon, thank you again for the super chat. Hey, Matt, if I bring a guest to Coastal Kitchen, is there a charge for them? No, but you can't bring guests, Jonathan. It's only available to suite guests. You can certainly ask, and then in which case there would not be a charge for them, but it's only for suite guests. I'm sure they're going to tell you no. So it's got to be suite guests on there. Yet another super chat from Leave Me on the Ship, who writes, and the Aqua Theaters, are the Aqua Theater suites loud inside when no shows are going on? No. I've stayed in 2 of them so far, and they were very quiet when there were no shows going on board on at the same time. Aaron Ross, thank you for the super chat. 14 days till freedom. Why is Navigator your favorite freedom class ship? No, it's not. Navigator's not a freedom class ship. Navigator's a Voyager class ship. But I really like the amplification. But I like Freedom better than Navigator now. I think Freedom's amplification was amazing. So maybe that puts your mind at ease. But Navigator's a Voyager class ship. Freedom's a Freedom class ship. So I know it's a little confusing there. But yeah. Let's see here. Rory from South Carolina. What's up, Rory? Good to see you, buddy. Getting on adventure in the junior suite next week. Booked, I don't know what that is. A spot treatment. Oh, it's a person. Got it. Booked a spot treatment for her at 1 o'clock on day 1, but can't check in until 1:30. Should I show up earlier? Cancel the treatment. Sold out. I would, oh boy. I would show up early. I know you're not supposed to, but you made the appointment for the spa. Keep an eye on that, Rory, but, you know, hope for the best. Keep an eye out for being able to change the reservation. Hopefully you'll be able to get in there. That's a tough one. I mean, I'm really trying to think what I would do if I booked my wife. I don't know. I'd have to think about that, Rory. That's a tough one. I don't know what to do. I mean, it's like, I feel, boy, I don't know. Boy, that's a moral conundrum to say the least. I'll think about that. Ray, question going on Harmony this Sunday. Wondering if they do direct traffic into the terminal. What? Yes, I think. I'm not sure I understand the question. Travel Crazy Guy. Hi, Matt. Do you have any idea if shows will be complete on Wonder by my May 8th sailing? I know that I don't think the new Effectors 2 show will be on by that date. I believe they're looking at like June or July for that, or a little bit later. So Dennis wants to know, hey, Matt, is it true that if a COVID outbreak happens on board that everyone gets refunded with cruise credit? No, not necessarily. In fact, Dennis, we just did an article about this last week or 2 weeks ago about the policy. So the policy that Royal Caribbean has, if some, it's I'm going to read it for you. You know what? I'm just going to give you the exact verbiage. They're actually really they have a pretty good policy about this. If you test positive for COVID-19 on a cruise ship, you guests will have the following COVID-19 assistance at no extra charge: 100% cruise fare refund for you and your traveling party if any of you test positive for COVID-19 within 10 days prior to the cruise or at the boarding terminal for cruises departing on or after March 31st, 2023. So if you're on board the ship, here's your question. Prorated cruise refund if the cruise is cut short for reasons related to COVID-19. And if you test positive for COVID-19 during the cruise, Royal Caribbean will cover the cost of COVID-19 related medical treatment on board, any required land-based transportation, and travel home for you and your traveling party. So I think you can get FCC if you'd like to, but you get a refund as well. Or in lieu of, I should say. Leave me on the ship again with a super chat. Holy moly, dude. Thank you. If you win Royal up in Star Class, what benefits do you not get? Double Crown and Anchor points if you're coming up from a balcony or lower. So Jennifer wants to know, is the nursery open? Head on Wonder May 22nd. It is indeed. Yes. Go there on day 1 to register. Joelle, what am I? Jade. I'm so sorry, Jade. What's the best ship for first-time kid cruisers 10 and 13? Odyssey of the Seas. Odyssey of the Seas. Check out our full cruise ship tour, but a Quantum class ship is the way you want to go for that age. Odyssey of the Seas. I mean, Wonder's not bad either. You can't go wrong about that. Next question is from Chrissy. Thank you, Chrissy, for the super chat. We waited too long and Aqua Venture Excursion Atlantis is sold out. How can we get there safely on our own? Does it ever open up? It does open up. People cancel it. It will go back in there. You could also, Chrissy, when you get on board the ship, go to the shore excursion desk, see if there's availability. You can be put on a wait list. That's worked out as well. But if you want to get there safely on your own, just take a taxi. That's what I would do in your scenario. So, but get on board the ship at all else and ask for that. The Teresa McShane, thank you for the super chat. How did you let me ignore? Thank you for the awesome super chat. How did you let me ignore the Odyssey when it came out? Watched your ship tour and booked for April 23. Maybe be perfect for us. You know, I wanted to tell you all about it, but Josh Carruthers made me he made me pinky swear not to tell you, Teresa. So I didn't get to take it up with him, my friend. But Odyssey is really, really amazing. One, is COVID testing still required? It is indeed, yes. Why is unlimited dining not offered on Australian cruises? It can be. Depends on the sailing. Every sailing is a little bit different. So maybe sold out potentially for your cruise or too far out to book it. But I don't think there's a policy that says we're not offering unlimited or dining packages in Australia. Natalie is new. Welcome, Natalie. Wondering if the ice shows are the same on... There's a lot of ships that begin with M. Mariner and Oasis. No, they're all different, Natalie. Every ship has a different ice show on there. So it doesn't matter what MOTS means. They're all different. Tony Diaz, thank you for the super chat. Tony, 20 days till Oasis again. 46 till Ovation. Hashtag sorry, man. Hashtag bet on red. Tony, have you not seen what's that Wesley Snipes movie? Passenger 56 or whatever? Always bet on black. Come on, man. Joyce wants to know, can we book CocoCay when we're on the ship, like the water park? Yes, but it could sell out before you have the opportunity to do so. And more importantly, the price could go up beforehand. So how likely will it sell out? It definitely can, Joyce. You know, there's a weird phenomenon going on ever since cruises restarted. A lot more people are booking up extras for their cruises. Dining, excursions, spa appointments, casino. They're way busier now than they ever were before the pandemic. I think a lot of it is maybe just a lot of pent-up demand. People who are like, we want to make up for lost time. So it's not like it used to be. So the answer is yes, you could wait, but you run the risk of the price going up or the thing selling out or both. Your best bet is to book it in advance. Don't forget, Joyce, if you book it today and next week you decide, you know what, I really don't want to do that anymore, you can cancel with no penalty before the cruise. So next question is from Rob the Pony. Wonder if the season in Spain in 195 days. Any idea if the pools will be warm enough sailing in October, November in Spain? I think so. I think it'd be okay. You'd be surprised, but I can't promise you anything, Rob, but I think there's a good chance of that. Kaylee, did I get that right? Kale, the aviation dude. I'm sorry for butchering your name. Somebody died on Oasis on Saturday due to medical reasons. Thanks for the super chat. Okay. People unfortunately pass away for many reasons all the time. I did hear about that. It's unfortunate. But you know, not because of COVID, just unrelated to all that. Just it happened. So, but I don't know what to say about that. Other than, you know, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for their family, obviously. Archie, do you go to the casinos on board very often? Yeah, I do. I like spending like an hour to our favorite thing to do, Archie, really is like after dinner, kids are in Adventure Ocean, go to the casino and, you know, spend a little time down there. Let's see. Blackjack or bingo? Blackjack, definitely. Bingo is like, I mean, gambling to some extent is always throwing your money away. Like, you know, you're probably going to lose your money, right? When you're gambling, odds are statistically speaking, you're going to lose your money. But bingo is always like, every time I do it, I'm like, why did I play this one? So definitely blackjack. Let's see here. Next question is from AD. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the answer and really appreciate all the great information you provide. Thank you for your generosity. I'm thinking of all our super chatters today. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Patrick, thank you for the super chat. Woo! Can you share your thoughts on Royal Caribbean's 2023 selling cancellations and itinerary changes? Oh, I think you're talking about Mariner of the Seas, right? We reported about that yesterday. I don't know. I understand why. I mean, cancellations and itinerary changes are not uncommon, but this is like the second time Royal Caribbean's canceled a bunch of sailings on in 2023 on Mariner. I mean, It stinks. If I had my cruise canceled, I'd be frustrated by it, but it is what it is. Also, for Royal Caribbean purchase the Grand Lucayan, how do you think it will affect the Royal Caribbean itineraries? They're not going to. We already know for a fact they're not in negotiations anymore for the Grand Lucayan. They still have plans to develop Freeport, the port, but not the Grand Lucayan. So it appears the answer to your question, Patrick, is now the second part of your question is now null. But yeah. Let's see here. Next question is from Susan Lieberman, who's going on Navigator this season November. My daughter and I were thinking of going earlier. Only short cruises offered. We've never done a cruise less 7 days. Is it a party crowd? It depends on the time of year, Susan. Spring break can be. I mean, certainly you're going to get a more active vibe. I would say party, no. I mean, Royal Caribbean really doesn't have that. That isn't really like the party cruise line. Will there be some people, maybe more people on board a shorter cruise who are looking to, have a good time and have a, weekend getaway? Sure. But I wouldn't characterize like, Susan, if you're going on a 3-night cruise, it's going to be a booze cruise. I just don't think that's really the Royal Caribbean experience. And on top of that, if you're looking at Los Angeles, again, different vibe than like Miami, I think you'll be okay. I think you'll still enjoy it. I've done a lot of 3-night cruises, and, Royal Caribbean doesn't usually skew too heavily in one direction or another in terms of demographics or it being too much of a party cruise. If it was during spring break, you run that risk sometimes of it being a little more elevated. But again, yeah, I don't think that's really something to worry about. Dennis wants to know what are some good secondary excursion companies to book through other than Royal Caribbean. I would recommend resortforaday.com. I would recommend Viator, Viator. I don't know how to pronounce that one. And there was one more I was thinking about. Gosh, what was the name of that one? But Resort for a Day is my go-to next stop. Like after Royal Caribbean, I look at resortforaday.com. That's like my go-to right there for that. Justin Carr, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Love your videos. Thank you, my friend. We had a few cruises planned before COVID hit going on Independence in May. You're going to have an awesome time on Independence of the Seas. And if you haven't seen it yet, Justin, we have a full tour of Independence of the Seas here on our YouTube channel. Check it on out. Let's see here. Next question is from FIO Outdoors TV. Do you think Royal Caribbean will lift the vaccine mandate soon? Nope. I heard reports saying possibly by fall. That's just wishful thinking. There's absolutely zero. I think it's Florida Outdoors TV. Sorry. There's zero reason to believe they'll be dropping it anytime soon. This year, I think I'd be utterly shocked. I don't expect that to be the case. There's been no cruise line that's been talking about getting rid of the protocols. Again, I don't know more than you do. Nobody does. So anybody who said there's been reports is completely making it up, because that means Florida Outdoors. It's like somebody in our chat said that, and then you're repeating that. Like that's the kind of reports. There's nothing. No cruise line has talked about dropping that mandate. And personally, I just don't see that going away anytime this year at the very least. And next year is even a question. So yeah, but for what it's worth, I'm just sharing my opinion on that. I could be totally wrong. Fanfic Rocks, thanks for the super chat. Behind the scenes question: what is with the B-roll footage in the video? Is it just some Royal Caribbean promo footage, or is it all homemade and filmed by you? Oh, in the videos that we make, a lot of the video that you see is video that we've taken. Actually, when I say we, I really mean Jenna, our YouTube editor, has captured a lot of it. Some of the early videos we did prior to 2020 was all either Royal Caribbean video or like generic B-roll. But we've spent a lot of time getting our own B-roll to be able to show you. So in a lot of cases, it is our video. Yeah, not every single case, but we have permission from Royal Caribbean to use their B-roll. If it's ever an aerial shot, if you ever see like a wide angle up in the air in the middle of the ocean, yeah, that's Royal Caribbean's B-roll. But we have permission to use that. And then on board the ship, a lot of times it is ours. And that's and Jenna's done a great job with that stuff. We spent a lot of energy getting that B-roll. So that way, when I'm talking about things, we can show you exactly what we're talking about right there. Let's see here. Jamie wants to know, is there a cost to the zip line at Perfect Day CocoCay? There is indeed. Yes. Ray's question, the one that I had no idea we were talking. I meant, do they direct traffic into the parking garage for Harmony? Oh, do you mean, I'm sorry, which port are we talking about? Hold on, Ray. I think, was that a super chat before, or did I just misattribute it? I don't remember which. I'll just answer your question. It's really easy, Ray. In Port Canaveral, you go right into the into the parking garage. It's really easy. In Fort Lauderdale, Port Everglades, there's a surface lot right outside Terminal 18, and you go right over there. There is a parking garage for spillover, but it's rarely used for Terminal 18. Hillary, thank you for the super chat. Curious if you've ever seen anything about behind the scenes or coming back. Yes. The reason why we haven't seen them obviously is because of COVID restrictions, but now that a lot of those are eroding away, I believe they're allowed to offer that again. I'm not sure when or where you'll be able to see them at first, Hillary, but my understanding is they will be coming back at some point sooner than later. So Des Orman wants to know, will Royal Caribbean accept any other proctored home tests besides Abbott Binax now? I'm not aware of any that are 100% guaranteed to be accepted by Royal Caribbean. As of right now, they have not publicly said they'll accept any other proctored video test. They do say that if it's an at-home test that's proctored, they'll accept it. But the only one that I know with 100% certainty they will accept is the Abbott Binax now. So for right now, that's the only one I would recommend getting, just for right now. Again, it could change, but until I see Royal Caribbean say, yes, we'll accept other ones, I'm going to still continue to recommend and personally use the Abbott Binax now. You know, be saying, well, Matt, those Abbott tests are a little more expensive. Some of the other ones that are out there. Don't forget, if you get the Abbott test, you can submit it back to your medical insurance for reimbursement, and they'll give you about $12 per test for that, which brings the price down cheaper than a lot of the other ones that are out there. So there's something to keep in mind. Liz wants to know, is the booster required? Generally not for cruises out of the United States anyway. I think the only place where it's required, maybe some European countries, where you have to have I can't rattle off all the protocols off the top of my head, Liz, but let me make this very easy. For cruises out of North America and for most sailings, generally, they're not required by Royal Caribbean at this time. Could that change? Yes. Jules wants to know, when is the next cruise planner sale? Tomorrow on Tuesday. I'll have a post about it at royalcaribbeanblog.com. Mai wants to know, what's the best cruise for 23 to 26-year-olds? It's my first time on a cruise, but it's not my first time on a cruise, but first one for my boyfriend. I would definitely do an Oasis or Quantum class ship. It's always a good idea for first timers, or people who haven't cruised all that much. 7 nights, Oasis or Quantum class ships. So I would say you want to do like Wonder of the Seas, Harmony of the Seas, Odyssey of the Seas. That would be great. Reed, is the name Utopia of the Seas confirmed? It is indeed. Yes. Oh, Josh, I'm sorry. You're right, Josh. That was Nick who told me not to tell Teresa about Odyssey. You're totally right about that. That Nick. Can't trust that guy. Gabriel, what's the best ship for 5 and 9-year-olds? They're all good. I mean, I probably got myself in trouble for answering those other questions about, this ship or that ship. There's no bad ship that's out there. It's really a question what your kids are looking for. I think for kids 5 and 9, probably any ship that has a water slide is probably a good idea, Gabriel. So I might say Mariner of the Seas. I might say Freedom of the Seas. I might say Wonder, Harmony, Odyssey. There's not really a bad ship. It's just a matter of like what does or doesn't it have, right? Hiya, 2527. Thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message from you, but I will keep an eye out for that. And if it's just a nice gesture, well, thank you very much. I appreciate you. I don't see a message here, but anyway. Andrew wants to know, thank you for the super chat, Andrew, is Sugar Beach Candy Store self-serve? To some extent. The ice cream, they serve you, but like the candy on the shelf is self-serve, if that makes sense. Stephen wants to know, anywhere when Allure of the Seas will bring back the Blue Planet show? Royal Caribbean is in the process of restarting the shows. For the shows, you can't just be like, all right, guys, we're going to do the show again. It's been like 12 months. We're going to do it again. Like, it's not a flip of a switch. You've got to get a team from the cruise line on shoreside to come on board the ship and train the new performers for the show. So it's a very slow process to get it back up and going, but they are in the process of moving across the fleet to do that. Also, Oasis class ship's most closed one mentioned showed what? Well, I think the answer to the second part of your question, Stephen, is still the same. They're in the process of getting all the shows back up and going. It's a slow going process because, again, they have to individually on every single ship bring a new crew on board, new cast members on board, and then somebody from Royal Caribbean comes on to help train them and get them going on there. You can't just be like, okay, the show we haven't done in 2 years, we're just going to do it again. It doesn't work quite that way. Let's see here. Carson wants to know, how do you check all of your ports in the Royal Caribbean app? I'm not sure you mean like check all your ports. I mean, you can, for like shore excursions, you go to I wouldn't do it in the app. I would go to the Royal Caribbean website and log into the cruise planner and book it over there, if that's your question. Annie wants to know, for Royal Caribbean shore excursions, how will I know when they will send me details about my itinerary? What? For shore excursions, I got that part. How will I know when they will send me detail? I think what you mean is you book a shore excursion, and when we get like the information, like where to go at what time, if that's your question, then on board the ship, you'll get a ticket in your stateroom, literally a paper ticket with where to go and at what time. So they'll give it to you that once you're on board the ship. I think that's what you're asking there. Let's see here. Next question. Sarah wants to know, do kids have to be vaccinated to go to Venture Ocean? They do not. All kids need to wear a mask, whether they're vaccinated or not. But they do not need to be vaccinated in order to go to Venture Ocean. Chris Gears. Chris, thank you for the super chat. All right, it's not a super chat. Just thank you for the question. If I have the ultimate dining package, you get hibachi, sushi, and Azumi, will I be charged $10 twice? No. Just once. You only get charged the $10 if you dine at hibachi. It doesn't apply to sushi. Let's see here. Russ Crawford. Russ, my man. Russ is the nicest country guy in the world. Mr. Kentucky, super nice, amazing family. I am shocked that he's not using Denise's account because Denise has all the social media accounts. But Russ, I don't see a message from you, Russ, but thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And I promise that if I see your message, I will resist the urge to say it in my best Kentucky accent. But what a nice guy. I met him on Adventure of the Seas, and just he really great guy. He loves baseball, old school baseball fan like me. Love it. Anyway, Christy, thank you for the super chat. Freedom of the Seas saw that the unvaccinated guests are restricted from entering certain areas. That was in the past, Christy. So that was the policy. They got rid of that. You don't have to worry. There's no more vaccinated areas, Christy, on any Royal Caribbean cruise ship. They got rid of that as of February 25th. So no problem. And that was the case before then, but not the case anymore. So problem solved. Love that. Love when I can tell people that. I feel like it's a great relief for a lot of folks. Luca just booked Harmony of the Seas through MEI Travel in an Aqua Theater suite. Was curious, a good excursion to St. Martin, St. Thomas with a 16-month-old. I would do St. Thomas. I would go to Megan's Bay, just take a taxi over there or book an excursion that brings you there. It's wonderful. St. Martin. Oh gosh, I just heard of a place that was really good. What was the name of that place? There used to be a great beach, Luca, in St. Martin. I always recommended, but a hurricane went through there a couple of years ago, and that place is doesn't exist anymore. I don't have a good one in St. Martin for you. I mean, you go to almost any beach, but what was nice about this one in St. Martin was it was a protected bay, so there were no waves over there. It was called Legalion Beach, Galion. But again, there was a hurricane a couple of years ago, and they just never rebuilt it. I mean, it's still there, but it's literally a plop of sand you can go to. But yeah. Owen wants to know, why do I like Royal Caribbean the most? I like Royal Caribbean the most because I think it's a good balance of what you pay for versus what you get. I love that Royal Caribbean is a market leader. They're not the most expensive cruise line out there, but they're also not the cheapest cruise line out there. And there's, like I said, I like that balance. Certain cruise lines give you more, but they also cost a lot more. And other cruise lines may offer a lower price in Royal Caribbean, but I don't feel like the onboard experience really matches up as well for Royal Caribbean. So I just like that blend of family entertainment, innovative technology, and really fun experiences, and latest and greatest cool cruise ships. I love how they design that stuff, and I love how they're always looking to the future. That to me really endears me to them, because at the end of the day, it is a really wonderful cruise line, and it's a great family experience. Kim wants to know what's available at CocoCay without spending money. A lot of the beaches, the pool, Oasis Lagoon Pool, Chill Island Beach, Breezy Bay Beach, Harbor Beach, South Beach, Splashaway Bay, Captain Jill's Galleon, Snack Shack, Chill Grill, Skipper's Grill. There's a lot of, most of the experiences are completely complimentary, Kim, at Perfect Day at CocoCay. It's really amazing. So it's really just the water park and the beach club, and of course any shore excursion, which is true of any place you go to, that would cost you extra. So it's pretty impressive. And of course, Captain Jack's, they have fries and wings there that I've never seen anybody actually order, but that does cost extra. But the vast majority of the experience is totally complimentary. Next thing is from Kelvin. Going on Symphony of the Seas on Saturday. I've been recommending things from Laser Tag to Ultimate Abyss. What would you recommend? Super hyped. Do all, man. Do everything you can. Every show, do those. Check out you're on the right path there, my friend. I would definitely recommend those experiences. They're wonderful. Keith is a new cruiser. Beverage package just posted on our March 2023 on Independence. $105 a day. Wowzer. That's a very expensive price. So I would definitely wait that out a little more. Wait till like 6 months before and check again, Keith. That is a crazy. I mean, prices are going up for they've been going up for years for the experiences on board. Maybe 6 months from now, I'll tell you, oh yeah, that's a good price. But as of right now, that's like the most expensive I've ever seen for a drink package. Reed, is there a extra cost for Starbucks if you the drink package? Yes. The drink package does not include Starbucks kiosk drinks, so it would not be included there. Justin, thank you for the super chat. What is the best uses for kids' diamond vouchers? Non-alcoholic drinks, smoothies, um, uh, strawberry daiquiris. All those fun mocktails are really good for that. Let's see here. Samoya. We canceled our cruise for this weekend. However, we're waiting our cruise credit. We want to get one for May. What's the best procedure? I would book it now and put the deposit down with cash, and then when that cruise credit comes in, apply the FCC there to your reservation. That'd be my best recommendation. And more importantly, use a travel agent, a good travel agent who can do all that for you. Garrett wants to know, Matt, can you purchase the Abbott test on the cruise planner? No, you have to purchase it independently outside of Royal Caribbean. Garrett, go to emed.com, emed.com. You can purchase it over there. Rory, link your first video. We'd love to see all the progress. Oh, no, that's like embarrassing. That's like my first video was like this. Hello, everyone. My name is Matt, and today we're going to talk about cruising. Oh boy. Gosh, I did not know what I was doing back then. It'd be too embarrassing. All right, time for some more super chats. The Teresa McShane again with a super chat. Thank you, Teresa. We'll just blame Tony Diaz. It should be SOP, standard operating procedure for everything. As once again, Teresa is right. Love that. Thank you. Jen S, thank you for the super chat. I saw that Wonder has an escalator to get back up on the ship from port. Is there also an escalator down? It's actually the same escalator, Jen. When everyone's getting off the ship, they put it down. When everyone gets back on the ship, it goes back up. But you don't need the escalator. It's the escalator takes you from deck 3 to deck 2. Sometimes they tell you actually to skip the escalator and they go right to deck 2. But it's the same escalator. They just switch modes depending on where most people are going. Trevor, thank you for the super chat. Booked our first cruise ever on adventure this season. We're doing a 5-night Western cruise in December. Will the weather still be warm for the beach and pool? Oh, yeah. It's not until mostly January you start really getting some of the chillier in air quotes I'm using here, temperatures in the Caribbean. So, yep. Fanfic Rocks again. Thank you for the super chat. Can you please do a few cruises in Australia? Also, in Australia, there are some sampler cruises. I would love to, man. I am not taking a 24-hour flight. I'm sorry. I listen. I know you Australians do it all the time. I much respect to you guys for doing that. There is no way until they invent Star Trek style transporters where I can say, "Beam me up, Scotty, to Australia." I would love to. I would love to. I ain't flying for 24 hours. I just can't. I can't. To quote the teenagers of this generation, I just can't. I would cry. I would never go back. I would be like, that's it. I live here now. Oh, gotta love the people who have to come in here and put political statements. Just like, what a loser. Like this is not the place to spam and like grow up, man. Next question is from sorry, it just annoys people spamming here. It's like, how old are you, man? Next, I think someone already got that person. Answer some of these questions already. Hotel Nerd Network. I got that right. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Both of us are first-time cruisers and going for a honeymoon in last week of October. Tips and tricks for working cruisers going to the Bahamas. Boy, we could spend an hour here just talking to you about your tips right there. I would say number one, research the ship you're on, learn everything about it, read past cruise compasses. You want to book your shore cruise in advance, especially in the Bahamas. It can be, you don't want to wing it. You don't want to walk off the ship and be like, hey, honey, what would you like to do now? No, don't do that. Book shore excursions in advance. And if you're interested in a dining package or a drink package or a spa appointment, book it now, lock in the price, get a better price. That's definitely the way to go. Leave me on the ship again with another super chat. Thank you very much for your generosity. Leave me on the ship says, are you allowed to do online check-in at 12:01 a.m. on the day royal caribbean scheduled for check-in? Yes. Does this increase your odds of getting earlier check-in boarding time? Yes. But you don't need to do it that early. You can, let me put it this way. I can almost guarantee you that if you waited till a normal time the next day in the morning, do it that morning. Like if it opens up on whatever day, instead of doing it at 12:01 a.m., just wait till like 9 a.m. and do it. I can all but guarantee you you're going to get still a pretty darn good time. If you wait a week, not so much. Next question is from Darren Martell. Thank you, Darren, for the super chat. Any rumors on when amplifications will restart? Unfortunately, not, my friend. I wish there was Royal Caribbean says they will do amplifications and upgrades again, but they've not committed or announced any kind of schedule to that point. So I think it's really going to be dependent on how quickly we can move away from COVID-19 and all that. Robert's going to Labadee. What's great over there? You want to go to Nelly's Beach. I really like Nelly's Beach quite a bit. It's a lot of fun. I like that quite a bit. Fanfic Rocks. Thank you again for the super chat. The generosity of our chat today is unbelievable. Thank you. This is specific to contribute to the cost of research to do a video for those who are autistic and are adults, as well as those with social anxiety. Thank you so much for your generosity. We actually have on RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com one of our writers is fantastic, Haley. She's written about dealing with social anxiety, and it's an important topic, and you're absolutely right that we should do more about that. I'd also recommend Fanfic Rocks. There's a great group that's out there called Autism on the Seas, and they actually put together their own sailings. It's a regular sailing, but they have their own team on there to assist families with anyone who's autistic, and they go above and beyond. It's amazing the work they do. So I would also recommend checking them out. Autism on the Season. Thank you, Fanfic Rocks, for the super chat. But more importantly, I think you raise a very important point, which is that certainly social anxiety and autism are certainly things that a lot of people who have those still will go on cruises and have great times, but we don't really cover as much as we probably should here on the channel. So very, very, very appropriate. Matt M, what date are you going on Serenade? We're going on the May 29th and the June 5th sailing. We're doing a back-to-back, Matt. So great name, by the way. Let's see. Jazzy Jolie. Have I ever cruised on DCL and how was it? I did. Before I ever cruised on Royal Caribbean, I did a number of cruises on Disney. It's a fine cruise line. They're just ridiculously expensive, just stupid expensive. We've done a video recently about that, and I just don't understand how anyone can justify the crazy prices over there. Richard wants to know, how do they handle time on a transatlantic cruise? So the time zones will change, and as you move forward in time every day, you will lose another hour. They'll just adjust the time, usually in the middle of the night, so that way it's not like all of a sudden it goes from 2 o'clock p.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. They do it in the nighttime, so that way it's a little easier to manage, but they will absolutely do that. Hey, there's Russ with this message. Thank you, Russ, earlier for the super chat. Just want to say hello. Can't wait for your family to meet my granddaughter in December on Wonder of the Seas. Love it, my friend. Looking forward to seeing you all on there. Hope you're doing well, and congratulations again on your granddaughter. That's awesome. Zach wants to know, do you have to be 21 to get mocktails at a bar at CocoCay? You do not. You go to any bar, they'll serve you a mocktail, whether on board or on the island, so no problems at all. Amore is getting mixed signals about passport. Will I be denied boarding if I do not have a passport? No. It depends on the itinerary and a couple things. If you're an American citizen sailing out of a U.S. port on a closed loop sailing, that's a sailing, Amore, that begins and ends in the United States, you can cruise with a birth certificate, original document, birth certificate, and a photo ID, a government issue photo ID, not a passport. But again, it depends on if you're not a U.S. citizen, you absolutely cannot. You can, so you're out of luck on that one. And if you're cruising outside the U.S., you can't do that either. So you got to be a U.S. citizen, and you've got to be sailing on a closed loop sailing. So the reason why you're getting mixed answers is because it depends, and sometimes yes, sometimes no. Nancy, I booked through Royal Caribbean. Is it too late to add a travel agent? It depends how long ago you booked. If it was in the last month or so, you should be able to transfer it to a travel agency. Give our friends at MEI Travel a call and or an email, I should say, and they can definitely see what options you have for them. Tony Diaz, can we do a group cruise to Australia without Matt? Becky, I got someone else for you to ban. One more ban, please. Zach says, hey, Matt, Why should I book an Oasis class ship over another class? And what should I expect to be different on Oasis class versus another class? It's a good question. I mean, I don't want you to think, Zach, before I answer this question, like, Zach, you should never cruise on anything other than Oasis class. I don't believe in that at all. If you're a first-time cruiser, if you're like, my advice I always give people, if they're brand new to Royal Caribbean or brand new to cruising or both, to take it in Oasis or a Quantum class ship. The reason why I recommend that is because the Oasis class offers the latest and greatest. It has the most options on there. New cruisers don't yet know what style cruiser they are. And more likely, they've probably seen, Royal Caribbean commercials, and they've seen and read about cool things you can do on cruise ships, which are generally all available on Oasis or Quantum class, the newest ships in Royal Caribbean's fleet. So if someone who's brand new to cruising goes on a Voyager or even a Radiance class ship, they might not match up with their expectations. So going on a big new ship on a 7-night cruise, I feel will give them a good blend of everything, and then later on they can explore and find their favorite ship or their favorite class. But when they're brand new, you just don't know what you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what you like yet. So that's why I go in that direction. Hi, 2527. Thank you again for the super chat. How do Crown Anchor benefits work on charter sailings? I have an Atlantis cruise on Navigator, and I'm wondering if I'll get my drinks. Probably not. Generally speaking, the benefits from Royal Caribbean's Crown Anchor side do not apply on charter sailings. It does depend on the charter. Some companies pay extra for those benefits to apply, so you have to check with Atlantis on that one. But generally speaking, I would not expect that to be the case. Angie, is it better to book travel insurance through Royal Caribbean or on your own? Not all travel insurance is the same. So the answer is it depends on the policy and what you're looking for. Royal Caribbean's travel insurance is provided through a company called AON. They're great. So it's not like one is better or not the other. It's a matter of the policy and what you're looking for in that policy. There's good reason to book through Royal Caribbean or on your own. It just really depends on what you're looking for in the policy. It's kind of like car insurance. They're not all the same. It depends on the policy. Derek, you are very welcome, my friend. Brian, is the dining package worth it, or should we buy couples dinners as we go? First time cruisers, if you know you are going to eat at more than 2 specialty restaurants, get a dining package. It will absolutely save you money. Let's see here. Next question. Hey, Ralph, Matt, you rock. Thank you. Thank you for all the helpful information. Booked the first cruise for April Harmony, April 2023. Most important tip for first-time cruisers, book with a good travel agent. It will save you time and money. Book with a good travel agent and book as far in advance as you can. Mackenzie, first cruise in a couple weeks. Best slide on Thrill Island Water Park. Oh, at CocoCay. I think it's the slingshot, the raft slide. That is like that's a family pleaser type of slide. I think you like that quite a bit. I think we only have time for a couple more questions, guys. I'm gonna run out of here. We're almost at an hour already. Jay Smith, thank you for the super chat. First cruise this Sunday on Oasis. How is it? And does Johnny Rocket still serve breakfast for free? It's amazing. Yes, they do. How to avoid getting seasick? You probably won't, but generally speaking, you want to, excuse me. What would I say? Have a cabin that's centrally located in the middle of the ship. It's always a good idea. If you feel yourself getting seasick, don't focus on one area. Look at the horizon. Fresh air is always good. And if you're really worried about it, Bonine is wonderful. Bonine. You can get it over the counter at any pharmacy. It's a medication you can take daily, but the ships are pretty stable. I wouldn't worry too much about it, but yeah. Alex wants to know which COVID test is allowed. PCR rapid okay from CVS. Yeah, if you're fully vaccinated, yep. Rapid antigen or PCR. I would recommend for fully vaccinated a rapid antigen test is the way to go. Up to 2 days before your cruise. Hiya again, 2527. If you travel a lot, get an annual insurance plan. Very good point. Thank you for your generosity again, Hiya. Appreciate you. Kristen M, thank you for the super chat. Booked on Harmony in a Grand Suite. Thinking about canceling and booking 2 cruises for the same price. Are the suites worth the extra cost? Boy, we could spend like an hour talking about that, and we'd probably get a lot of opinions from everybody in here. Listen, if you can afford it, go for it. But if it is the choice, Kristen, between 1 cruise in a suite or 2 cruises in a non-suite, I would do 2 cruises in a non-suite. Like if it's like, this is my vacation budget, this is what I can do, I'd always take 2 cruises over 1. I think it's definitely the way to go. And I think, a lot of people would probably agree with that. I think the suite makes sense when you can afford 2 sailings no matter what. The question is, do you want to spend more on the suite or not? But if it's a question of 1 cruise in a suite or 2 cruises in a non-suite, I would do 2 cruises in non-suite every single time. Christine, our cruise ship sailing at full capacity? Not yet. Archie the Archie, thank you for the super chat. Why do bees like cigarettes? They enjoy the buzz. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. Jay Smith, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. I don't see a message from you, Jay Smith, but I appreciate it. I'll keep an eye out for it. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Jazzy wants to have ever experienced pier runners on a cruise. I'm sure I've seen them. I don't recall ever seeing like somebody on the pier like, oh, we missed no, and like the cruise ship leaving away. I don't think it's been quite that dramatic, but I have seen people literally running full sprint to get back on board. I've seen that. It's amusing because it's not me, but holy moly, fanfic rocks. Thank you for the epic super chat. Woo! Can you please convert the article to a video, and possibly could be done by an appropriate person if you're not okay with it? Oh yeah, I will definitely take a look at that fanfic. I mean, listen, I can't promise you anything, but I know it's a very important topic to talk about, but again, the blog can also be very helpful as well for that. But thank you so much, and we'll definitely try to do our best to kind of try to do that in a good manner, because I understand it's a different kind of video than if we're doing our traditional one that's out there. So, hey, Beachy Mama, thanks for the dining video. I shared it on the Royal Caribbean dining Facebook page. Thank you, Beachy Mama. I appreciate you. Thank you. That is awesome. And I think we are all caught up, and I think we're going to wrap things up here. So thank you all so much for joining us here. If I didn't answer your question, I know we didn't get to every single one, far from it. Please feel free to post your question on our message boards at royalcaribbeanblog.com, or come back again next Monday. We're live every Monday right here on YouTube, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Come join us for that. Until our next live, hang on, I'm going to say some thank yous to our super chatters today. Fanfic Rocks, thank you. Jay Smith, thank you. Archie, thank you. Kristen, thank you. Haya, thank you. Jay Smith, thank you. Haya again, thank you. Fanfic Rocks, thank you again. Darren, thank you. Leave me on the ship, thank you. Hotel Nerd Network, thank you. Fanfic Rocks, thank you again. Trevor, thank you. Jen, thank you. Teresa, thank you. Justin, thank you. Chrissy, thank you. Russ, thank you. Andrew, thank you. Haya again, thank you. Hillary, thank you. Fanfic Rocks, thank you. Justin, thank you. Patrick, thank you. AD, thank you. Kale, thank you. Rob, thank you. Tony, thank you. Teresa, thank you again. Chrissy, thank you. Leave me on the ship, thank you again. Jonathan, thank you. Ralph, thank you. Carrie, thank you. Leave me on the ship, thank you. Fanfic Rocks, thank you again. Diamond Dave, thank you. Kim Oakland, thank you. Kenny K, thank you. Vanessa, thank you. Gall, thank you. Lem, thank you. Danny, thank you. Grumpy and V, thank you. Leave me on the ship again, thank you. Mike, thank you. Fanfic Rocks again, thank you. Josh Carruthers, thank you. Zach, thank you. Jonathan, thank you. Archie, again, thank you. Kay, thank you. And Barbara Tiedman, thank you again. Really appreciate each and every one of you. It's very, very kind. We'll be live again next Monday right here on YouTube. Until then, have a great week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun. That's important as well. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.